it's me. I was wondering if I could attempt a new intro. Not going to happen. Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. Hope you're all good. So, this is a quick video because I thought, well, you know what? I'll shoot one. I've been really busy since I got back from tour. But tour was amazing, just to say. Thank you for everyone that came down, supported all the bands. Absolute belter of a tour. So really happy with that. Yeah, basically, I'm back at it, back in the world of YouTube, been shooting loads of videos of musicism, all sorts of cool stuff. And it inspired me. Basically, I thought it'd be a really cool idea if I started sharing some guitar tips with you guys, you know, so when I get a chance, I can shoot some videos and, you know, basically talk about the stuff that I like to do on the guitar. So I figured I'd call this video Playing with Feel. And what is feel? It's a way of describing how someone communicates their ideas through the guitar out to your ears in a way that makes you go, oh, it sounds great. And I thought I'll play my new Strat because it's a good guitar for feel. So, in a nutshell, feel is that the emotion, the fact that you can put across your emotion through your instrument in a way that connects with people. And you can do that in a variety of ways, using bends, slides, you know, just generally the phrasing that you choose to use and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, how can you teach that? How can you give someone a way of just playing with feel? Well, the honest answer is you can't. Playing with feel comes from experience and soaking up influences from left, right and centre from all these different players and different guitarists and opinions. But I can give you a few ideas and tips that might help you, such as, you know, perfecting your bends, getting your vibrato right, and just generally how you can go about playing in such a way that starts to sort of suggest that you're gaining feel. Because I think feel is something that can be gained. Some people have it naturally, but there's a lot of guitarists out there who just, you know, had to really work at it. So tip number one, I would say work on your vibrato. Vibrato is super important. I'm always still working on my vibrato, and I think most guitarists are. It's one of those things that you can always get it better. Not a conscious effort to sit there and just vibrato the string, but you know what I mean. It takes time. So I guess that's where I would start. So let's take a look at a lick. All right. So we're going to play in A minor. Okay. A couple of things to bear in mind when you're trying to do vibrato is the way your hand moves, and also there are things that will catch you out, like trying to put vibrato on top of a bend. So your hand, essentially, the best way to go about doing vibrato is not to use your fingers to get that vibrato straight away. Do you know what I mean? If I was there playing a note and I was trying to get the vibrato and going, using my... The problem is your fingers aren't strong enough, and the guitar is always going to give you resistance because that's the way it works. It's attached, it's strings that you're essentially stretching. And the thing is, it's going to push against your fingers, and you can't rely on the strength of your fingers, no matter how strong you are, to give you an accurate vibrato. The best way to do it is to use your whole hand, your wrist, turning your wrist, moving it up and down, all this kind of stuff. So if I'm playing, let's say I'm going to play a D on the G string, so that's 7th fret, all right? So now if I ring this note out with my index finger, now I add vibrato to it. If anyone's got an eagle eye there, they'll notice my wrist is turning, or my hand is turning this way, see? It's like I'm pulling the string with my index finger, but my hand is sort of locked into this shape. this kind of shape, you know? And if I'm twisting my wrist, it's pulling the string with it. And the idea is that you allow that tension to almost create like a bouncing feel. It's like, it's, you know, if you stretch a piece of string out really far or something that's got some sort of stretch on it and you twang it, the whole thing just bounces from left to right, left to right, left to right until it slows down and stops. But the idea is that it's got that kind of pendulum swing, that, you know, opposing forces, and that's essentially what you need to be doing with your vibrato. It's like opposing forces. You're pulling and the string's pulling back. So that's how to think about it, to approach it originally. And remember, don't use your fingers to get the vibrato, because it's not stable enough. It needs to be your whole hand, either your wrist or so I'll show you both of them. So wrist, the turning of the whole wrist and arm, forearms, not massive, but it's a little bit. And then there's the hand motion, like this. So they're different, and the reason that they're different is because it's a completely different motion. I'm still playing the same note. One, I'm twisting the whole hand, and the other one, I'm actually pulling up and down. And it's still giving you the opposing forces, it's still pulling back and forth. And that is how you sort of manage or mediate the amount of vibrato that you're giving the guitar. And that's one good way of looking at it. I'm not saying that's the only way, just to be clear. That's how I kind of describe how I do vibrato. So if that works for you guys, then awesome. Take that same approach, try it on different fingers. So that was the index finger. Give it a go on the middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. So obviously some work better than others for different fingers, but I guess the one that's sort of consistent across the board is the twisting of the arm. And that's kind of where I would go first and foremost. If you watch Vi, he's all about the up and downward motion. Really is what feels most comfortable to you at the end of the day. So there you go. That's a good little tip on sort of how to do vibrato and how to get it better. Moving on, let's look at bends. So bending is, as you know, with electric guitar, one of the most important tools we've got. So we have one up on keyboard players, piano players, violin, you know, we got one up on those guys, even sax and stuff like that. So how do you achieve good quality bends? Because you hear so many guitarists that kind of play, you know, that kind of and it's just never quite there. How do you do it? And you see people who bend like, and what they're doing to bend that note is they're using their fingers to push the string. And that isn't necessarily wrong, but it's going to take you 10 times longer to get it really efficient and really consistent. What I would suggest is combining the two. So you want to use a bit of finger strength to push the string out, but you also want to use your hand to arc that string up. So if I'm going to do same note again, D string, D, which is G string 7th fret, if I'm going to go for a bend, whole tone bend, watch what happens to my hand. My whole hand goes into that bend. As you can see, I'm pushing with the string with my fingers a little bit, but I'm also pushing my palm against the neck, because we've got all this movement, you see, with my hand, with my thumb on the neck, and I've got, obviously not all this, but you've got, you know, for the vibrato, you've got a lot of space to move your hand. We never really solidly have our palm against the bottom of that neck, but when you want to do a bend, push all the way in if you need to. But the idea is that you combine the finger push or strength with your hand, because that's the extra support. Also, don't just bend with one finger. You want to have, say you're bending with your ring finger, you want to have your middle and index at least, or just one of them, just to support you so that you've got more strength. The two strongest fingers on your hand are these two. So you want to make sure that you're using them to your advantage. What I tend to do when I'm bending is this finger, my index finger, sort of hangs around in case there's if I'm doing any rakes into bends, it's there so that it mutes the other strings, stops them from ringing out. Whereas the two in the middle, at the most of the time, are the ones helping, support. Middle finger supports the bend, ring finger goes to the bend. And then if I'm doing a little finger bend, it's the same process, same principle. My ring finger and middle might be supporting the little finger because it's a little bit weaker, and then the index finger is the one that sort of mutes the other strings. You can bend with your index finger, but until you've really got some experience and hand strength, it's going to be well difficult to get that accurate. It does feel good when you get it down, but it will take a little bit longer. Let's go one up with that and try and add a vibrato to a bend 10 times harder, because not only are you supplying force to bend the string, but then you have to add a little bit more to add a bit of vibrato on the top of the bend, so there's loads of tension going on there. Take the same note, D, on the G string 7th fret, and do a whole tone bend. So it's well hard, and I'm always trying to perfect that technique. It's just one of those things that you can catch you out from time to time, so you really have to keep on it. The trick here is obviously, first of all, to be good at bending, or at least to have bending down. And then secondly, it's about applying the vibrato at the right point of the bend. The simplest way to look at it is, let's say I'm bending from 7th to 9th fret on that G string. So if I go... Now I've hit that pitch, I'm at pitch. If I start adding vibrato now, essentially I'm lowering the pitch. I'm going away from that note because I'm there already. Do you know what I mean? There's no more space to go. I'm already at pitch. So all the vibrato is going to do is sound flat. Trick here is to overbend ever so slightly, but not until you apply the vibrato, and that takes practice. So let me try that again. So that sounded all right to me, but the idea here is that you go a little bit further than the bend, just to make sure that you're bending sharper, and then the lower point of the vibrato is actually the pitch you're trying to hit. It's not like when you hear a singer, they're going to sing at pitch and then start vibratoing and sound out of key. So that's the whole point, is to sing in key. Same with bending, same with vibrato. So there you go. Bend a little bit further when you apply the vibrato so that you stay in key, or stay in pitch. So we've looked at vibrato and bending, and I'm trying to whip through this subject because obviously there's a lot to cover, and if you want to go into more detail about these subjects, go and check out my guitar course on musicism, because I break it all down. You can go through it in step by step. We're talking about playing with feel, and I think bending and vibrato are two of the main sort of tools to play with feel. Another one is slides. So I can be playing like... So I just did a bit of improv there, and I was doing some slides and stuff like that. And essentially, I'm not really thinking about it. But what I can tell you is that, sliding into a note, out of a bend, they're all really cool tools and tricks that you can throw into your playing that are just going to exaggerate the feel that you're putting across. So if I want to go like that, I can do that by a bend and a slide. You see what I mean? And it's a simple emotion, but it takes more time to perfect. And it does just give you that, it's a fluidity. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a fluidity that, the more you have, the more you sort of sound comfortable and confident and convincing to the listener. And that's what I think feel is. Also, I should mention at this point, because I haven't yet, feel, in my opinion, is less, not more, less. Too many guitarists out there get too giddy, because it's my time to shine, I'm just going to shred, just going to do it all, just wah. And it's great, impressive, but really, the time when I really sit there and I go, it's awesome guitar playing, is normally when someone plays barely anything. It's just a little bit of something, but it's so well done and so well executed with the feel and the emotion that it just convinces you instantly. And that's the trick. It's about being confident with the skills that you have and also making sure that you've got them under your belt. At the end of the day, feel will take a long time. I still have to desperately find what really is my feel, where I know that I can really confidently execute something that someone's going to go, that guitarist's really good. Because at the end of the day, there's no point in sitting on your chair and going, no, I'm all right now, I'm good at guitar, I've got it down, can play, can shred, can bend, can vibrato, I'm sorted. It's always about learning more. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is learn more and then show you guys. So, because you guys are interested and you watch my channel, and that's awesome. But yeah, so like those three things, bending, vibrato and slides, are all massive. And also dynamics, pick attack. You don't want to be too over the top all the time. Mix it up, because then you've got dynamic, and that again is huge. So there's a bit of waffle there, a bit of improv, but the idea was that I was trying to demonstrate soft and hard pick attack in a way that kind of worked with that sort of improv idea. And again, you can really dig into notes and that really gives you more drama, or you can play softly and it sort of makes everyone listen in a bit more. It's a bit more focused. So yeah, that's the video. Just a quick one, just a quick blog video tutorial type thing, just to go, hey, I thought I'd show you guys a few opinions and perspectives on playing with feel. I want to do loads more of this kind of thing, but I just thought I'd try it out first. So let me know what you think in the comment section, if you like the teaching style, if it's enough for you guys to go on, and of course what else you want me to talk about. But this is kind of a debate, so please comment away and you give me your opinions and your perspectives on playing with feel. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.